Sorry, guys. First of all, sorry for having you people waited so far. Starting with Gandhi Jayanti wishes, and yeah, so you all know already that today's event is about cloud, and that exactly is the event's name. This event is regarding cloud because the very popular season of hashtag 30 days of Google Cloud is going on now. And yeah, we'll jump directly into the event. Hey guys, I'm GM Kailash, a member of GDSC, Google Developer Students Community, SRM Ramapuram. So you all might wonder what exactly we at GDSC SRM Ramapuram do here. Google Developers Students Clubs are community groups for for college and university students interested in Google developer technologies. Students from all undergraduates and graduate programs with an interest in growing as a developer are welcome. By joining a GDSC, students grow their knowledge in a peer-to-peer environment and build solutions for local businesses and their community. We are an active club of SRMIST Ramapuram. To be updated about our future events and other activities, do follow us on our Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and of course on our dashboard. I guess you're all excited about today's event. This event is our speaker of the event is Mr. Rishi Agarwal, and who is a hybrid multi-cloud architect. He'll today be covering topics regarding basics of OS, basics of Linux command, web servers, and load balancer. I now hand over the event to the speaker. Thank you.
All right, so let's get started. Can I share my screen? All right, so hello everyone. I am Rishi and I am your instructor for today. So, without wasting a single second, let's get started about an operating system or OS because everything in cloud or DevOps goes hand in hand with OS and it boils down to just a basic simple thing called operating system. So before starting, I have some messages. First one, I will be taking a Q&A at the last. I will be answering after that. Then these topics are like you can understand what I am saying, but without getting your hands dirty, you can't do it. So my recommendation is after this session, try it out, and if you get stuck, please let me know. I am here to help you all. So let's get going. So what we are gonna see in this session. So in this session, we are gonna see about OS. What is it? Its types. Then we will set up a VM on local where and cloud, that is Google Cloud. Then we are going through some basic commands that we can use in our daily usage. Then there is a practical in which we will set up web servers, and then there is a concept of load balancers. And at last we have Q&A. So what is an operating system? Can anyone answer me in the comment? I am checking the comments. Guys, try. What is operating system to you? All right, software in the PC, users and backend. All right, all right. So almost you're all right. So okay. So let's move in. Let's see what is an operating system. So operating system is a layer between user and the hardware, which is like a user can use to communicate with it. You are using an operating system to attend this meet. So the use of operating system, there are many OS available like Windows, Mac OS and Linux, but we are going to use Linux because Linux is widely used in the developer community because it is an open source and highly customizable. So for today's practical, we are sticking to CentOS 8. It's an upstream version of RHEL 8. So let's see types of OS according to its installation. So there are three types according to installation. So first one is base OS. What is base OS? So base OS is nothing but it is installed over bare metal. Now bare metal is a real physical hardware that we have like CPU, hard disk and all the stuff. So basically we have three: Windows, Mac OS and Linux. So you are using any one of it. Then there is called VM. and guest OS. This is another type. This is one. So let's see. Now it is installed over a hypervisor. We will see what hypervisor is. So what hypervisor do? It will provide a virtual hardware on which you can install a OS, and the OS will be called as virtual machine or VM. In case of cloud, it is called as, so it commonly used are VirtualBox and VMware. Then there is another class of OS according to installation. It is called containers. So containers are just magic of Linux kernel. So how it is container runtime engine. So example are container D or cryo. Let's see what the hypervisor is. So what is the purpose of hypervisor? So hypervisor provide a medium on which we can launch our operating systems. So it is basically used to provision the VM, and hypervisor provides virtual resources such as memory and processing, and creates some resources as a code like network cards and all others. So there are two types of OS. First one is two types of hypervisor. First one is type 1. It is super powerful and it can be installed directly over physical hardware, and its performance is equivalent to real machine. And see, EXSI, it's a product of VMware. It is highly used, but in AWS using. And for type 2, it is super weak, which we are gonna use in this session. It is installed over a base OS. So my base OS is actual in Windows 10. So over that we can install like VMware or VirtualBox, and it suffers a huge performance hit because our OS is running over the top of that. You have launching one OS, so it's kind of highly performance depreciation we can see. So let's see underlying architecture of the VM. So if you can see, there is like one layer on which like it's your, suppose it is your laptop. So your laptop has RAM, you have CPU, you have hard disk like a base OS. You might have Linux or Mac OS. Over it, I have installed a hypervisor. It's a type 2 hypervisor, and VirtualBox and VMware are two products which provide type 2 hypervisor. And in my case, I am using VMware because it is very easy to use. So over that, we can launch many virtual machines, as many as our hardware permits. So there is like that will act as a complete different OS. It will not based on this. Then it's called guest OS. As you see, it is launched over another OS, so it is called as guest OS. And in cloud, VM are also known as instances. All right. So we are now moving towards the practical. So to install the VM, please note that if you open your task manager and performance tab, you should see virtualization enabled. Otherwise, you can't do this. So let's go. And here, here are the steps how to install VMware. I have created a doc which is very informative. You can use it to install the VMware, and like you just need to click this QR or scan the QR. So let's create a CentOS VM. So also I have provided a guide, but like everyone, like I got the comments like they can't able to do it. So let's do it together in the session. So let me open my what. Let me just once exit. All right. So this is my screen, if you can see, and this is the memory. So I have 12.6 GB already in use. So I have 3.3 GB available. So check your free memory first. It's the and your virtualization should be enabled in the BIOS. That's one thing. And if you have free memory more than 4 total memory more than 4 GB, then go for VMs. Otherwise, I will recommend go for the cloud. Like I have more than 4 GB, and my free VM is 3. So I'm gonna allot 2 GB to the VM. So let's create one. So this is like if you click VM workstation, this application, then you can create, you will get this screen, and you can create a virtual machine from here. So you will get like this wizard, and you have to keep it at typical and click next. And there are three options, but select I will install operating system later. Then next, you have to select here Linux, and from the drop down menu select CentOS 8, because we are gonna install CentOS 8. Next, give it a name, like I'm giving them alright. So don't give spaces, and click next, and provide minimum 100 gigabit. So if you don't have 100 gigabits, no worries, it will be as dynamic, so it will not take a total 100 GB, but the VM will feel like it will have 100 GB. And click that stored virtual disk in single image, and click next, then click see this carefully because it can cause error. So memory, as I have said, if you have memory more than 4 GB, then go for VMs. And if you have 4 GB, then give 1 GB your RAM for the VM. If you have 8 GB RAM, then give 2 to 4 GB. I am giving 2 GB because I have already used up much of my memory. Then give processor, like how many processors you have. Like I have 8 logical processors, so I can give around 4, and it's according to your system. And click on this. If system fails to start, then uncheck this is not required. Then go to the cd dvd and click use iso image file, and then browse. I guess if you will see, yeah, I have shared a link for downloading the CentOS image. So select your CentOS image wherever it is and open it. uh, Regarding networking, so you need to have a bridged adapter, and replicated, click this too, and rest all the things are fine, and click close. Then just click finish. It will create a VM. All now, power on this VM. Now click on the black screen, your mouse will disappear. Now press upward arrow key from the keyboard and press enter to start installation. You will see your mouse has gone. See, my mouse is not visible. Now you can press right alt control to get your mouse back. See, my mouse is back. If I click it, it is again gone. You can do this to get your mouse back. Let it start. So continuously do monitor of your memory usage. Installation time will take around 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your system, hardware, and it does not take more than like 20 to 30 minutes. That's max. So, uh, all right, you will see this screen. Then click continue here. You have to click multiple times. All right. So this is now our installation page. Now what we have to do first, let's go and enable internet on the system. So just keep it on and click configure and go to general and click connect into priority, so that, and then click done. Now you need to select your, just need to review that your 100 gigabyte what you have given is selected or not, and then press done. Then come to installing like workstation, because we have right now laptop and PC, so we are gonna select it. And then we need to create a root password. Keep in mind you have to like make it very easy so that you can remember. Like my password is root it is, and begin installation. All right. So it will take around 20 minutes. So like without wasting time, let's move to slides again and move further. So let's understand what is shell. So shell is a black screen. It looks like this. Black screen which is provided by your CentOS, all any Linux, means any Linux, and here you give your commands to your OS. So this what the it's look like, and default shell in Linux is bash. So bash is most popular, so we call it as bash shell scripting. So for a developer, you can do and everything that UI can do from the terminal, and it's very easy to do. We type, so when you turn it on, means after turning it on, you, all right, it's done. I guess my RAM is all right. So to launch any application, first click on here on, there is application tab, then go to terminal. All right, can you see my screen? Because I am getting like my screen is all right. So let's open. All right, so my RAM is actually full, so it is taking so much time to open a terminal. It hardly takes some time. So if you can see, it terminal is already launched, but it is not able to show me. So like this is how installation goes. If you complete it, just you need to reboot the system, and you have already a step-by-step guide. So I am closing it off so that we can proceed further. So like everything is now fine. So let give it a full screen and increase the font size. Okay, so let me with the commands. So commands are basically just only the programs which we can run, like uh, what we do in Windows. We like click, double click or single click to run that command, but we can type that. All right. So the first command is date. Date shows you date and time, and this is how first there is a cal. This shows you all the your calendar of the month and which is today's date. Like there is a command called ping. So what ping does is shows you if your laptop is means your VM is connected to internet or not. So if you go and type google.com, so you will see that it is transferring the packets. So this is total travel time, and so see 5 packets transmitted, 3 received, and like I interrupted it, so it is showing that 40% package lost time. So just if you get this line, means your VM is connected to internet and you are all set to go. Now Let's create a new folder, mkdir. So let's give the Linux. Alright. So if we want to see what in this is slash, this is a home directory, means in which we have, if we want to see what folders we have, so we can do ls. It shows all the folders and files it contains, and then there is the command to go inside the folder. So it's cd linux, and now I am inside the folder. See, you can see the change. So inside folder, let's create let's create a file, hello world.txt. So to create a file, we can give command vim. So vim is nothing but a CLI text editor tool, just like Notepad. But to use it, we have some different way. So if you want to type something, you need to press I first. So press I, then type hello world, and done. Like if you are done typing, then you can press escape. Insert mode will be gone, and then if you like type wq, then your program will be saved. All right, so your file has been saved. Now let's read it. So to read it, we can use cat command, hello.txt. So see, you can read it now. How? Then there is another command. It is like, it's called DNF. DNF is a package installer. So like we install some programs, like I just installed VMware on my system. So the process we did, so in Linux we need to use a command to install anything. So it's called DNF, install httpd. Right. So this is the command to install anything. Now it will connect to internet and start installing. Let's go to the slide till then. All right. Discussed date command, we discussed cal command, we discussed cd command, and here are all the commands, and I have given what's the use, and there are more commands. So I have linked here a YouTube session about bash shell scripting. It's very nice session. It helped me with my RHCSA. So I recommend go through it once, so that you will be very much comfortable with command line. So next is, we are gonna create a cloud instance on Google Cloud Platform. Note that you will need a AWS or GCP account, and you need to sign up for the free trial. So let's go to my GCP account. So this is how the many of you have already used it, like you are in 30 days of cloud. So let's go. And now to start any VM, we need to start from compute engine and VM instances. Right. So you click create instances. In GCP, if you need to create an instance, it's very easy to create. But if you go to AWS, it's very lengthy process. So if you want to know in AWS, do let me know. I will share a talk how to create a VM. So let's name it as. Then there is something called region and so on. So what is region? Region is something like the place where the data center is located. So there are almost 30, more than 30 locations. And there are two in India. So let's check if India is available. Asia, see Mumbai is available. So we are gonna use Mumbai as our region, and then zone is like they divide a complete region into small. If anything wrong happens or natural calamities happens, then there should be a single zone running so that no downtime can cause a trouble. So like I am creating it in Mumbai and zone is 1A. Now there are like machine family, like you want how you want. So I'm gonna use N1 series, and it's based on your need, how much RAM. So right now I don't need anything because I'm not doing much. Going for N1 standard one. Then leave everything like this, and this is which OS you want inside your VM. So like we are now sticking to this right now. So let's go for CentOS Stream. Do do consider that CentOS 8 is different and CentOS Stream 8 is different. So CentOS Stream 8 and 20 GB is almost fine. All right. You can like firewall. Okay, you can allow HTTP traffic and create. So this will create an instance that we will need. It takes some time to start, so let's move on to our slides. What we have next. So let's understand what is web server. So web servers are used to host web app or a website. Now, many of you are front-end developers. I know that. So, for you need always a hosting service to showcase your app or website. So, this is how your web hosting also works. So, if you go to the base, there is your hardware. Let's consider this as a laptop. So your laptop has some base OS and a hardware upon which we have installed a software known as web server. So it is HTTPD in my case. It's a open source product from Apache distribution, and the about it I have sent my web app or website. We will see all this in practical, and if client want to access this, they can access via IP is nothing but like your home has an address, likewise on the internet your has an address, and port is like on which gate it wants to go. So normally HTTP port that we are going to use is almost 8. There are total 2 to power 8 ports in our all the PCs, and you can consider it as a gate. So we will set it up live. So see, I just before in previous time, I just ran this command. This is how now we can move to start the system CTL start. So this will start the service, and if you want like after reboot the service will start automatically, you need to give the command systemctl enable httpd. So it will like create uh, all right. So let's now move further, and we need to disable firewall because like if we wanna access this website with our base OS, so we need to disable firewall as base OS act as a outer system. So connecting correctly. So to stop the firewall, there is a command called sys system ctl stop firewall d. So now stop, we can check by systemctl status. See, it's stopped. It's inactive dead. So now we can access it anywhere. So now we will move to our, like, let's create a web page. So to create a web page, we need to go to the folder slash web slash www slash html. So inside this folder, let's see, is there anything? No, there is nothing. So the one file known as index.html. And all right, so I forgot one thing. So to create file, we need to add vim, and in vim now I to give some text. So I give hi, I am from Sam. All right, so this is my web page that you will see there. Now I need to know my IP to connect from it. So for that we have command if config. So if you go, you can see if you can see, there is no IPv4 address like this. There is only inet 6. This is IPv6 address that we don't use. So to get that back, so you need to like restart network. So for that you need to give the command as system ctl restart capital N network capital M A. Alright, so if you run ifconfig again, you should see your IPv4 address. See, it's now here. So it's sometimes it poses a problem, but you can like do this. Now I'm copying this IP address and moving back to my website. So now if we go, like, see, I am from what I have written as a website. Now, like, you are a website developer, you can create your own website, host it, and like in hackathons, it's mostly used by me when I want to show any website and I don't want to buy any web hosting. So I create my own web hosting. So it works very great, and there is something called microservices that integrates perfectly fine with it. So let's go and see our instance. So right, so it's now started. Now if we want to connect, just click connect, and it will connect to the instance, and you will just get the similar terminal black screen that we are using from here, where it is. See, same shift. If you want to increase its text style as medium, increase it to large. Like it is same. You need to, if you need to create DNF. Just here is that. See here, you need to use sudo. Sudo is something like that gives normal user the power of the root. Root user is ultimate user here, like administrator in Windows. Here we have sudo dnf stt. Alright, so it will do this just same as the system did, nothing different. So main purpose is that, like, if you don't have your that much resource in your lab, you can sign up for the free trial. If you sign up for the free, let me tell you, you need to register with your debit card or MasterCard or credit card. You will get 22,000 rupees as a credit, and then you will get, if you give your SRM ID, you will get an additional 7,300 rupees. So total 30,000 rupees approx you will get as a credit, and you can use it over 90 days. So after 90 days, be sure that you are turning off your VMs so that you can you are safe from any recurring charges. So let's move further into the slides. Next is, I have given all the steps listed here. If anyone wants to see, like, they can see from here and do it how you want to do. And just now, let's get to know about load balancer. Load balancer is something like, it is a software or a hardware in, present in any data center or any, like, web hosting place, which is connected to an application server and act intermediate between clients and the app users. So clients. So why do we need an intermediate? Now, if website is like heavily used, like if you use Google, now you are connected to one of the app servers right now. So how Google maintains, like, individual IPs and how it does? So it is nothing. They are connected servers to a load balancer that redirects to a particular web server. So they don't need to send extra IPs, and only one IP can connect more than 1,000 or 3,000 clients. So to the drawing, like, I have a drawing, like drawing. So consider we have 4 laptops. Uh, One out of 4, I have given like 3 made as a web server and one as a specialized called as load balancer. So the load balancer should have 2 network cards. One is external and second one is internal. So external network card connects the system to the internet. Traffic can come to the system, then it can reroute to the internal systems. Just that, how load balancer works. So what it does, if 3 clients come in, then it will send one client to this, one client to this, then one client, by equally balancing the load. So what it helps is, it does not create a means heavy load here, and if and anytime a server fails, like if this server fails, then there should be a no panic, and all other server will be working as fine as they are working. So the it eliminates the thing that is called as single point of failure. So there is no single point of failure here. So if, like, this system shuts down, others two system can work very well. Now let's see what is the load balancer. It is a specialized web server, act as an intermediate between clients and actual web servers. Then load balancer are used for balancing incoming traffic, and they like divide the ingress traffic into multiple web servers, and it also provide extra layer of security as see this all can't connect to internet directly. So if anyone wants to connect to them, they have to pass through this, and this will not allow the internet traffic to directly connect to them. It will be man in the middle, if you can get it. All right. So let's see a demo. Like you need to know that in Kubernetes, load balancer is also known as a service. There, that is their term. So to do this, you need 4 instances or a Kubernetes cluster. So I right now don't have 4 instances, so I'm gonna use my pre-installed Kubernetes cluster. It's on my system, so let me go to it. So this is my terminal, Windows terminal. Let's see if my sy- Kubernetes cluster is. I will give kubectl. If you can see, it's found in means your Kubernetes cluster is running. Now, if you want to do this practical, you can use like GKE, and it's very simple to use. Like, let me show you. Uh, Go back, and here, if you type GKE, you can go to this page and like create, use that GKE standard, just configure and create. It will make it for you, and then you will get the command line like this, just almost same command line. So like now use it. Now let's create a deployment. What is a deployment? Deployment is like starting the web servers. Kubernetes works over the concept called like it works on the concept of containers. So like I am not explaining containers, is out of the scope of agenda, but let's see how this works. This is similar to how we create 4 VMs and install a web server. So if we give like Kubernetes get proxy, one is ready, other two are starting up. Are ready to use. Now, this is the specialty of container that it takes 10 to 20 seconds to start. Otherwise, if you install a VM and do all that, that will take around next 2 hours or 3 hours. So that's why I'm also using the Kubernetes. So like let's create a load balancer, but before that, we if there is any already running SVC. All right, so there are two SVCs already running. Let me delete them. No use. If we see now, there is only internal SVC running that we don't have to bother. So let's create one. So So I normally remember the commands because I normally use like documentation to do this. So there is a command which is expose, which create a service or a load balancer for my web server that I have just launched right now. So just three for this thing. Right. So deployment not found. Right. So if you get this, that means load balancer has been started. So let's see. Get it. This this is like they don't have external IP because it's running on the local cluster. So like what I did, I tunneled this internal IP. So this is what I got as a public IP. So let's copy this and the gate. I have to use them instead. So if I go paste then give a colon and then paste the number. See, I am inside a VM, like a web server. It's showing its IP. So its IP is 4. Now, as I refresh, you will see a sudden change. Alright, it doesn't change. I don't know why. Let me do it again. Let's create an incognito. I don't know why it's not changing. Otherwise, it changes from it got. So it should have changed. But let me try by command line. Like we have command. This time it's connected to 2 IP2 and here it is connected to IP4. I just gave the same IP address. So it proves that load balancer works. So this is the about load balancers and this is how we can create a web servers and load balancers. I think it will help to do these things further, like Q&A. If you have any questions, uh, all right, you can go to the questions. There is a Q&A tab in the chat which is enabled now. You can ask questions. I am seeing it, so I will reply accordingly. No questions? All right. So, guys, can you hear me? Reply in the normal chat box so that I can know. You can hear me? All right. So, if you have any questions, you can ask in Q&A section. I'm waiting for the questions. All right. Any questions regarding 30 days of cloud? You are facing any management queries or you have any problem there? So you can ask that too.
Hey guys, feel free to ask questions or doubt if you have regarding the cloud session or 30 days of Google Cloud Challenge. Rishi is here for helping us out. Yeah.
You can ask any questions. All right, in chat section there is a question: can we dual boot? Like, I suggest not to do it because, like, what we do in the VM, if it goes something wrong, we can delete it off. In but dual boot, what will happen is, if you did something wrong, it will not start again. So it can harm your PC. That's why I don't recommend dual boot. And if you means you are a Linux user, you know how to use Linux better, so directly switch to Linux. No need for Windows. I don't think so. Both have now much of the difference other than using type. And about GCP progress report, I think someone also messaged me in my DM. So I will check it out with the team and let you know. Any other questions? All right, guys, try it by yourself and let me know if had any doubts. Still, you have any doubts, you can mail in me. Like, this is the QR, scan it to get the slides, and for further query you can mail me or you can ask in the WhatsApp group.
All right, guys, we are in the end of the session. Okay. So I guess you had fun, and more than that, you might have learned a lot about cloud today. First of all, I thank Mr. Rishi for taking his valuable time and knowledge with sharing his valuable time and knowledge with us. Thanks to the attendees for being in the event the whole time, and make sure you're following us on all the social handles, and don't forget about the feedback form that is being put in the meetings chat box right now. Until next time, this is Team DSC signing off from you all. Be curious, keep rocking. Thank you.